You're okay to be confused. Join the party. If you take your old way of working and that wasn't great, AI will pour accelerant on that and you'll do bad things faster. So many of the organizations I'm working with, they have an outdated human operating system for how they work. You can use AI to take meeting minutes, to summarize meeting notes, and to send them out to everyone. But the real question is, Alice, should we have had that meeting? How does this impact me at the organizational level, the team level? If you just do it at the individual level, I feel like I'm marginally more productive, but the organization's not got the benefit. The mistake a lot of leaders are making is they're adding in AI, but they're not taking anything away.
It feels like we're all carrying a low-level sense of overwhelm right now. The global landscape is shifting and AI is accelerating that. I mean, it's a lot. Today's conversation is about recognizing the pressure we're under without wallowing in it or asking why us, and instead asking a better question. How do we stop moving from one thing to the next to working and leading in a way that's sustainable and even thriving? I'm joined by futurist Dom Price, who has spent years at the intersection of humans and technology and is quite literally obsessed with building high-performing teams. Dom has a deep passion for understanding teamwork and the changes we need to make today to build a thriving business for tomorrow. Dom, when you look at the world right now, think geopolitics, the economy, AI, constant disruption. Why does it feel like many of us just feel so overwhelmed and exhausted?
I think everything you've just said, there's people try and pick words to describe it. And the word I like the most is the word lot. It's just a lot.
It is
right?
a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And if we get carried away, is it this? Is it wartime?
Yeah.
Is it peacetime? Is it
It's not. It's just a lot.
We don't have to name it. It's just a lot. And when something's a lot, I feel like we all have the agency, the humanity to go, that's okay. Let's just act like step one. Let's just accept there's a lot going on right now. And therefore it's okay to feel like this.
Yeah.
I think once we humanize that, we've got a really good chance of navigating our way out of it, because when you do that, we come out of the blame. It's me pointing out all these things happening and go, okay, if that is the reality that I'm in, and I am, how do I best structure my work, my team, my organization? How do I best do what I need to do to have the impact I need to have? So we flip it from a blame game, woe is me, life's tough, the world's hard out there, to going, okay, all those things are true.
Yeah.
So what, Alice? So what are you going to do in the hours that you work or the things that you do to have the highest impact you can? And that reframe is super healthy to go, I'm not going to deny those things. I'm going to accept them. I don't like them. But how am I going to structure me so that I don't just survive, I actually have a chance of thriving?
Yeah.
And that's most organizations and leaders I'm working with right now have that desire to do that reframe and just start doing the things they need to do.
Historically, I guess we've always told ourselves, once I get through this crisis, I'm going to reset. Yeah. I'm going to take a breath. But that's not working anymore because one crisis, I'm not going to be doom and gloom, but one crisis is becoming another.
Yeah.
Talk me through why that historical mindset is just not cutting it anymore.
I think if you go pre sort of 2020, there was a good chunk of most leaders' history where something would happen, you'd respond, you'd get the SWAT team together, you'd respond, and then you would do what we all call go back to normal. Right?
We coast.
Right? And you go, right, cool, it's business as usual, everyone, right? You go back to the thing that you know to be true. But since 2020, between the pandemic, supply chain issues, technology, we're talking about AI and the huge impact that have, which isn't a technology, by the way, that's a business impact. It's impacting the education system. It's impacting the voting and judicial. It's impacting how we work. It's impacting our business models, how we communicate with customers.
It's impacting people.
It's impacting everything.
Yeah.
So when you look at things of that magnitude, we can't do this one-off, let's do the AI transformation, Alice, and then we're done and we'll go back to BAU, because we don't even know what that future will look like.
Yeah.
And so we have to accept that we can't just carry this cognitive load. And again, the best businesses I'm working with right now are doing this in a way where they're just pausing. They're going, here is what's going on, and here's how we are choosing to deal with that. And that clarity, the kindness and the clearness of that clarity of going, here's what we're doing and here's what we're going after, means you accept the uncertainty and you pick a path that you're going to navigate your way through it.
I'm going to pick out something you just said there, which was the AI transformation. Now, AI is loud, and it is perhaps the biggest disruption that we've seen in quite a number of years. How should we actually be thinking about this?
I think, firstly, just again, it's not a one-off transformation. So if you have this temptation, this tendency to go, let's give it to, there must be a technical person in the team, we'll give it to them. That's mistake number one. Mistake number two is let's develop an 18-month plan of how we AI, right? Which is normally sprinkling magical dust on stuff. The danger with AI is also its superpower. It's such an opportunity across how you communicate and engage with your customers. It's got huge upside for how you actually work in your teams, the other vendors, like it's huge. But if you take your old way of working and that wasn't great, AI will pour accelerant on that and you'll do bad things faster. And I almost feel ashamed to say that, but it's kind of true because so many of the organizations I'm working with, they have an outdated human operating system for how they work, right? Almost the silliest, most trivial example is meetings. You can use AI to take meeting minutes, to summarize meeting notes, and to send them out to everyone. But the real question is, Alice, should we have had that meeting, right? If we've used AI
Could
just
it
to
have
summarize,
been an email?
Right. But if we've used AI just to summarize, but we've still invested all of our human time in the meeting, maybe we missed the point.
Yeah.
So the best leaders and organizations are going, pause, how do I change my human operating system? How do I lead? What's my culture? What are our values? What are our ways of working? What are our rituals? How do we meet? How do we make decisions? When they look at those things and they modernize them first, AI will accelerate those. You'll do great things faster. If you don't do that first step, you've poured accelerant on something that probably was suboptimal to start with, and now you're just doing silly things faster. None of us want that. So you have to take that time out to kind of get the house right. I mean that in the most literal term, right? Before you go and accelerate how you work on it.
Okay, well, all of that kind of points down to, get out of this crisis mode thinking because that isn't sustainable. But then what here is the alternative? How do you actually move forward?
So I think there's something in that question that I want to call out this crisis mode, this panic isn't going to help us.
No.
Right? We need to accept it, but it's not actually our friend.
Yeah.
What's our friend is going, I think we're okay. I actually do think we're okay right now. This hasn't happened to us yet. And if you accept it's not happened to us yet, you go, well, we're in control. We're building our future today. So let's just pause and be really purposeful. Again, great leaders right now are being very clear on here are our goals, collective goals as an organization, our goals as a team, your goals as an individual, crystal clear. Here's our priorities for the year. Here's what we're doing and here's what we're not doing, right? That clarity and the guardrails that gives you go, I now know with high confidence the things I need to do to thrive. Sadly today, not every leader knows what they need to do to thrive. So they're playing whack-a-mole. They're literally thrashing and trying everything and they're doing 15 things averagely. Not through bad intent. You've not given them the right setup to thrive. So I think as leaders, we have this ownership right now to say, how do I give clear goals? How do I give clarity in how we work, how we meet, the rituals? How do we make decisions? And how do I build that velocity, that intent of how we work? And if I do that, AI will become our great partner and our great friend and something we look upon as adding opportunities and value. If we don't make those changes to how we work and we add in AI, I think we've just added more crisis and more confusion to an already muddied pot.
I really love what you said about I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, but I'm certainly sure about what I'm not going to do. And that's almost clarity there in itself as you try to kind of navigate that path forward. But this goal that many of us have, right, to push harder until we reach some kind of finish line, which, what even is that finish line, right?
There is none.
But essentially what you're saying is we can't keep doing the same thing because that finish line, you just said it, Dom, it's not there.
So I think what we can do is, again, if we look for little moments that give us positivity and hope, I think we can look a little bit further out and we have some idea of what might happen. So that's always a good start point. The other one is, in the short to medium term, we can be quite confident about what we're doing. And when we do that and we get a little bit of certainty around what that might look like, it gives us a chance to go, okay, let's stop. What are the 2 or 3, not 7 or 8, what are the 2 or 3 things we can do as a team right now that give us a chance of thriving? But you have to stop first. And the reason I mention that is the mistake a lot of leaders are making is they're adding in AI, but they're not taking anything away.
Yeah.
At the start, we agreed everyone is cognitively full.
Yeah.
Right? There's stuff on the news, there's stuff online.
My
right?
bandwidth is at its limit.
So don't add anything in. What we have to do first, intellectually and emotionally, is take something out that maybe used to work, something we used to do. Let's take that out. It could be a meeting. Just remove it. No one's going to die, right? But the ego might get hurt, but no one's going to really get hurt. You remove the meeting, you go, with that saved time, what's one thing we can do that's more valuable?
Yeah.
What's the next best task? And when you open up that aperture to the next best task, and it could be for you as a team or for your customer, suddenly you're driving this really subtle evolution of how you work. When you do that, your shoulders come up, your mojo comes back, your creativity kicks in, and you're using AI to amplify all of those things. But at the core of it, you've built a very humane business where you gave yourself the chance by pausing, reflecting, but you have to pick a different path. But that path has to include remove first, add in second. And then when you do that, honestly, you have more thriving days than you do just surviving.
All right, Dom. So if I'm a leader right now today in, say, a real estate agency, I know AI is here to help me. I understand that it can accelerate my business and that it can accelerate the way we work and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm confused about where to start.
Yeah.
What do you say to me?
You're okay to be confused. Would be my first thing. Like join the party.
You're not alone.
If we're more honest, we all are a bit confused, right? Like, I think just like pausing and having that moment of going, this isn't abnormal. You're not the odd one out. So you're in the right party. The second step is to go, how can I simplify this so that I can actually get started? If you went and spent all your days researching AI to understand how it might impact the real estate industry, you've got to the end of the week, you've done no listings, no viewings, you've sold nothing.
Yeah.
So that's not good.
Yeah.
Also, if you go for denial, that's not good. So in between, the approach I'm seeing small, medium businesses, the way they approach this is to go, how does this impact me at the organizational level? How do I want to use AI? Maybe I've got many agencies around the country. How do I want to use it consistently across all of them? That's at the org level. How might I want to use this at the team level? Right, this team looks after listings. This team looks after... At a team level, you've got nuances of how you work. How do we optimize for your experience, your domain, right? Your function. And then the third level is individually. How do I just give everyone access to this superpower? And in doing so, how do I not overwhelm them? Right? How do I do this by going, here's a thing that you do every day as an individual. How might you rethink doing that with AI? Whichever AI, because they're kind of all the same, right? But if you start to ask the question, how might we evolve at an organizational layer? How might we experiment in teams with using AI to amplify the functional, deep expertise things that we do? And then as an individual, I spend X amount of hours, probably way too many, working in a week. What are the tasks or rituals I have where AI could make me do it faster or better? And when you approach it through those three lenses, I think you've got a really good chance of building a sustainable model for doing it. I just want to call out the contrary. If you just do one of those three, I don't think it's going to be successful, right? The top down doesn't get the buy-in of the people. If you just do it at the individual level, I feel like I'm marginally more productive, but the organization's not got the benefit. So I think when you look at it through those three lenses, you start to build micro experiments where you try new things, you explore them, and I think you bring people along for the journey. It's not you solely doing it as the leader. It's getting the team to lean in and go, AI is a part of our future way of working.
Yeah.
Now, cool. Now let's get on with it. Let's give it a try.
Well, the micro becomes macro, right? And it's like that saying, through little things, big things grow.
Yes.
I think what I've taken from this conversation is that when we are confronting the messy reality of AI, it's about small steps. Small 1, 2, 3 things that we can do today that add up to those big evolutions and changes. Thanks so much for your time, Dom. And I really think our listeners will have gotten something out of this.
Thank you.